Sunday night, Lamar Jackson, safe to say, is taking a step back this year in the passing game. No surprise, Lamar was asked about his struggling offense, but yes, surprise with his answer yesterday. Said this about opposing defenses, quote, "They're calling out our plays. They know what we're doing." Wow. Brandon, is that why the Ravens offense has struggled this season?
I mean, it could be, but when I heard this, Jenna, I'm like, well, what type of message is Lamar trying to send? Because this is not an uncommon thing in the NFL. This is what guys get paid to do, to study film, to pick out the tendencies. So you'll hear it all the time, and especially now that there's no fans in the stands. River, river, river. Lake, lake, lake. Let's say a guy calls river. Oh. What do? You go to the sideline, you mark it down. You say, okay, when they said river, they ran to the right. When they said lake, they ran to the left. So, of course, players know, but the good players, the good coaches, cascade communication. Hey, Jay Cut. Last time you call lake, the corner actually came, so you can actually pull that and hit me. So let's tell our offensive coordinator, Jeremy Bates, what's happening, what we're seeing on the field, what we're feeling, so then he can actually adjust his play calling. Let's go lake, lake, lake again, but pull it, hit me on the sideline. So this is not an uncommon thing in the NFL. It's about the players cascading communication to the coaches, and the coaches listening to the players and making an adjustment in his play calling.
Well, and pardon me, I'm reminded of a clip, famous clip for Cam Newton. Kevin Wildes referenced it a couple weeks ago. I think they're playing the Packers. They're near the goal line. Yep. Cam calls out a play. Clay Matthews then says, calls out what he thinks the play is. And you hear Cam say, oh, you've been watching film, watch this. And it wasn't the play the Packers were expecting. It ended up being a Panthers touchdown. So it is a bit of, and Jenna, you'll like this, the Princess Bride, I know what you know that I know what you know. And so it's kind of a game of chess that elevates throughout the game. But it did feel to me, Brandon, like this was Lamar, even if it was unintentionally, calling out a bit of the coaching, which a couple weeks ago after the Steelers game, I was pretty hard on Lamar. And you and I got into it a bit because you were saying it's Greg Roman, it's Greg Roman. And I didn't tell you this at the time because it would have hurt my case, but at this point I must admit it. During that argument, I got a text from someone who would absolutely know, connected to the Ravens, and the text, I'm going to read it to you exactly. The offensive coordinator is running the damn wing T. They don't practice the pass game as much as they go over the running game. Greg Roman's time will come up sooner than later. It is Roman that is messing things up. So, wow, great. You said that. I then got a text that corroborated it, but I didn't tell you because it really kneecapped my argument, but now I'm coming clean. And now Lamar is saying everyone knows what we're doing. So it does seem like there is a need there, even if there's also a need for Lamar to play better, because his numbers are down across the board from his MVP season. It does seem like maybe the league Wildes is catching up to and figuring out a bit the Ravens' offensive approach.
Oh, you know who this spells good news for? Your old buddy Kevin Wildes, Patriots, Ravens, and we're back. There's falling apart in Baltimore. And Brandon, you're like river, 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 lake, 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 and all. I didn't really know that it all had to be aquatic bodies of water. I didn't know that. It's like pond, pond, pond. Like, they installed reservoir. Look, I think this is great for the Patriots. Obviously, Bill Belichick's going to know what you guys are up to. And so, and Lamar was kind of taking like a shot at Greg Roman. But when Lamar is doing these interviews, it's not, it doesn't feel like he's actually trying to take shots at anyone. When you listen to the interview, he's like just telling the truth. And if the truth so happens to take a shot at you, well, like, okay, well, that's just the way it is. He's like, it's the play calling. It's not me. So I feel even more buoyed, another aquatic reference, Brandon, for the Patriots' chances against Baltimore.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people think that we go into the building every single day and all we're doing is running routes, throwing the football, tackling guys. But we spend more of our time breaking down film and looking for those tendencies. I'll give you guys a few examples. When I was playing for the Jets, going against, obviously, the Patriots twice a year, they knew exactly who I was to the T on the field. They knew if I had my right foot up, what I would do. Left foot up on the right side. I couldn't get off the line in scrimmage against Logan Ryan. In the second quarter, I finally saw this guy looking at my feet, and I start shuffling my feet back and forth, and he started giving McCourty different hand signals. So I went back to film. I said, what am I doing that they have down? And then I realized that I had a tendency, and I fixed that. Then I scorched them the next game. I go back to my time in Chicago. Brian Urlacher, Peanut Tillman, Lance Armstrong, Julius Peppers, Izzy Adonijay, all these guys would be on the sideline playing against Aaron Rodgers, and I tell this story all the time, but Brian Urlacher would say, guys, this series, Pepsi is up. What he was saying was, I'm going to call Pepsi, Pepsi, Pepsi. We're going to go into cover 2. Aaron is going to see cover 2. The next drive, Pepsi is down. So I'm going to say, Pepsi, Pepsi, Pepsi. We're going to go into cover 3. It's a disguise. This is all chess. Right. This is not an uncommon thing. It's about teams adjusting. You go to the Patriots and Bill Belichick, Nick, he's always adjusting, always evolving.
Feeling good. So a couple quick points. One is my guy Brandon Marshall, I believe, meant Lance Briggs, but it is possible 7-time Tour de France champion Lance Armstrong was playing safety for the Bears.
Who did I say?
You said Lance Armstrong. It's fine. Different famous Lance, but you meant Lance Briggs. I knew exactly who you meant.
He was our kicker.
That's fine. He was the kicker. All right. That's first point. Second point is, in defense of Lamar, when Lamar had the 4 turnovers against the Steelers, it was a very matter-of-fact press conference like this one, to Wilds' point, which is, listen, I turned the ball over in the red zone, I turned the ball over in the red zone again, I threw a pick. He does really just say what's on his mind, so I don't think this was almost the Aaron Rodgers-esque, not taking a shot at Aaron, where there is a backstory to all his comments. I think he's just saying what's on his mind. And lastly, Kevin Wildes, you remember when Zach Greinke told the opposing batter what pitch was coming and they hit the home run?
Yes.
The Baltimore Ravens could tell the Patriots before every play what they're doing, and the Patriots aren't going to be able to stop it this weekend. Sorry to tell you, as much as good news as it sounds like, it ain't that good of news, actually.
All right, guys, speaking of press conferences where people just say what's on their mind, regardless of the words that may affect other people. To Philly now, where once again, Doug Peterson struggling in a press conference to fully endorse his quarterback. We'll have that story next. First things first.